Hi there, welcome to the Gardens and Graveyard channel. My name is Charisma and today we're meeting in the backyard and we're going to do a couple of little projects, but you know that I like to do all of our projects like in batches and then I just share individual sections of the project with you all. I find that searching for a specific thing in the garden and digesting the information is so much easier if we're concentrating on just one type of project per video. So you'll see me wearing this in a couple of videos coming out, but my goal today is that we're going to plant ranunculus and we're going to take out a couple of different types of shrubs. So while I am cutting down shrubs and doing all of that, I'm going to soak my ranunculus, which is why I'm starting this video to begin with. So the ranunculus are corums and they need to be soaked for about 3 hours. A lot of people will put them under a bubbler, they'll put them under the kitchen sink and let the sink like just drip, drip, drip. Spencer made a brilliant suggestion of putting them in a net bag and putting them in our pond where our bubbler is. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to put them in a bowl and come by every once in a while and swish them around. They'll be fine. They're all going in one place and they're just going to be a big mix of colors. So I don't even care if they're separated out or anything like that. So I'm just going to dump them all into a big bowl of water and let them plump up for the next few hours while we do these other projects. So let me go over the different types of ranunculus that I'm going to use for this project, where we're going to place them, and then I'll be back. So on my very messy propagation table, I've got a bowl of warm water from the kitchen sink. And then from Longfield Gardens, I picked up a couple of different varieties of ranunculus, and this one is the Tomer Assorted Colors. There's 25 of them, and they have little breathing holes, so I could just, if I wanted to keep them sorted, I could put the packaging right into the water, and they would plump up inside the packaging. I don't need to do that because they're all going in one place. I also have these ranunculus here that are an Aviv mix, and you can find these at big box stores all over the place. There's only 3 corums in these, and then in this one from Longfield, there's 25. And then I also picked up ranunculus. Oh, there was another one, so that's 50. I think I did a lot of them. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I've got 100 of the assorted colors, and then 25 of the pickety red and yellow. And we're just gonna empty all these out, pop them in this water, and let them plump up. All right, and that's what they're going to look like for now. I'll just show you a couple of examples. So the ones that are a little bit more dried up look like this, and they're a little smaller. And then The ones that are a little bigger, already a little bit plump, but not totally, look like this. There's some that still have the stem on it from last year's growth. That's fine. They'll all just get buried in. They'll just get planted just like this, like a little jellyfish with its tentacles facing in and the growth point pointing up, even if they don't have a growth point. Just put them in like that. So we'll just come through and just sort of mix them up, swish them around from time to time. The idea of this is just so that there's no bacteria that grows in the water. And keeping the water stimulated prevents bacteria from settling in. Yeah, so that's where we're at with those. And we'll be back in a couple of hours. Okay, so this is the area that we are going to plant the ranunculus in. Spencer's washing off the porch, so that's what the water sound is. But we're going to plant the ranunculus all in this raised bed. I'm going to remove these foxgloves and move them right now. And then we will prep this bed a little bit and get the ranunculus in the ground. So, since they're a little bit dirty, and I have to swish them around anyways, might as well put them in clean water, I guess. I don't really know.
I probably have an old fish tank bubbler somewhere buried in the ground. I probably have an old fish tank bubbler buried somewhere in the ground.
Well, everybody else just does it this way, so I'm going to try it this way, and maybe another year we'll, if we really love them, maybe we'll set up a bubbler to do them every year. I don't know.
It's only a fish tank, or a ranunculus tank.
A ranunculus tank, yes. I don't know what those things are. Like, broken? I don't know.
We'll find out if ranunculus growing in our front yard.
Okay. So, I assume they get dirty because, like, they got, pulled out of the ground at one point, and there's soil up in there. So, because you could see the color is already turning. All right, it's been just over 3 hours, and we've changed the water once. We keep coming in and just kind of zhuzhing the water and the plant corums, but I wanted to show you what they look like, how they're nice and fat and plumped up now. They're like little tiny banana bunches. Even the ones that were really small have plumped up a little bit, and they look good and all ready to go. So we're gonna just dump out the water and start planting them. So I have our bed all ready. I fluffed it up a little bit. These corums only go in about 2 inches deep and 4 to 6 inches apart. So we're gonna plant them closer together than further apart, so 4 inches apart. And we're gonna get as many of these in here as possible. I'm hoping all of them. And then we're gonna cover it with mulch. And Spencer's bringing out the glass panes that we put over the top of this bed to protect it in the wintertime, to help prevent compaction by rain and to give it a little bit of a greenhouse effect and keep the frost off. So pretty straightforward. We're just gonna take these little guys and put a little hole, snug it in there, and I'm gonna leave them exposed until they're all in to make sure I don't have any like big gaps. So we're just gonna go along, and I'll get as far as I can reach that way, and then I'll go to the other side and do the other half. All right, so we have a raised bed full of ranunculus, and I pre-sprouted a flat, or I'm beginning the process of pre-sprouting a flat of ranunculus. So I didn't have enough room in the bed to put all of the ranunculus, and I do want them in these containers right here, but I'm out of soil. So I'll be picking up some soil this week, and we could plant out the ranunculus later. But because they've already been hydrated and did the whole process, I went ahead and put a little soil on the bottom of a flat, and then just put the ranunculus on top, and then we'll put a little bit of soil on top of that and let them kind of pre-sprout. That's how you do that. And then when they've showed a little bit of growth, then I'll go ahead and put them in these. I don't want to disturb them too many times. But we did put mulch on top of here, bark mulch. And then, I'll turn around here. Spencer cleaned the glass panes. So when it starts getting a little bit colder, we'll go ahead and cover that bed. It is dropping down to like 38 tonight, but then all the rest of the next 10 days, it's only going to be like 45 to 47 degrees. I think one night had a 42-degree forecast, and then our days are hovering right around 55 every day. So I'm not terribly worried about them freezing or anything like that, but as we get closer to January, that's when we start having those low dips. So Spencer can essentially put those glass pieces on there anytime he wants. We don't need to water them in because the soil is wet, and even once the glass is on there, we won't need to water them because they're not airtight. There will be some moisture getting in there, either from condensation or rain. So we don't need to worry about that. And as soon as it starts showing signs of growth, we take the glass off. It just gives it a little extra protection. So yeah, that's exciting. We've got all the ranunculus planted out, which means we're about to get into some beautiful spring blooms. We've got all of our bulbs planted. Oh, it's so exciting. I do have just a handful of bulbs that I still want to get in the ground. I know it's getting late, but here in a zone 9A, we don't get freezing cold temperatures. So what happens if I get a late bulb planting in? It just means that year those bulbs will bloom later in the spring. That's all that it means. And I'm fine with that because usually early spring, late winter, it's so rainy out here, I'm not enjoying the garden anyway. So if they bloom a little bit later in the spring, I get to enjoy them. So that works out for me. It works out to be lazy sometimes. So that's going to be it for today's video. I hope that you enjoyed it. I hope that you're celebrating your life and you're trying something new today. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.